Welcome back to another edition of Why It Works. I'm Joelle Martinek from Ginger Soul Photography here in Los Angeles. And today we are looking at this dancer image in front of what was one of my favorite walls in Los Angeles. Sadly, they have painted over it, and it is something very different now. But I drove by this wall a lot, and every time I was like, oh, I need to do a shoot there. I need to do something there. And I finally made it happen. There's some really gorgeous images in this series. I will slide them in right now just as a selfish thing so that they can live um, you know, out of my mind and how much I love them. So take a look at these. All right, back to the task at hand. Here we go. So we're going to take a look at this image today. So obviously, it's very striking with the colors. So, we're looking at all of those straight lines is the very first thing. So to be honest, I'm nothing but I'll be super honest about my process. I did have to go in to Lightroom and straighten the perspective of this because just the way it was, I couldn't actually get that full like straight shot. So the lines were a little bit skewed up. So I did go into Lightroom and shift the perspective, the horizontal, no, sorry, the vertical perspective just a little bit to make sure that the lines are really straight because that's super important to me, right? So we've got this, this great straight line here. And then we've got all of these lines coming down when super straight. The next thing I did purposefully, right, is I had my dancer monochrome here in, she's wearing red, this wall is red, right, very specifically. I also played, as you saw, with, the different colors in the walls with different colored wardrobe in front of it, just both monochromatically and then contrasty, just to see what we liked best. And right, so she's here. She's obviously very centered in this frame, right? Purposefully, the sense of uh, oh God, what do you call that? Equality, symmetricalness was really important to me as well here. And again, I played with dancers in all different places, but I really loved her in the red in this very center spot, right? And then the next thing that I love, this was a morning shoot because the street actually got very busy and crowded with cars. So we met very early in the morning. It was not super warm for this poor, lovely dancer, but the sun did finally come out. And I love, this pop of the blue sky back here. So it creates negative space. It creates a different shape, right? Because we've got these vertical lines going down here, right? And then you've got something that takes your eye across the frame here. So I like that sense of geometry, or as I like to call it, Sesame Street, right? Like working with the shapes. Um, and then she would be, right, if we did our little rule of thirds, I'm terrible at drawing them actually equally. But, if we looked at that rule of thirds, she's right dead center in that bottom third, which again, gives an ease to our eye, right? Or an ease to the framing. So, and then a couple other things I just made sure, right? So we were looking at, something I'm really conscious of with dancers is where lines cut them. And I wanted to make sure that we still saw her bottom foot here. So that was, excuse me, that you can see that shape. Right. And then I left just, enough of the sidewalk here. I didn't want to leave too much because I didn't want that to be the focus. So I really was conscious about how much sidewalk I left in there, right? I loved the blue sky because the blue sky actually added another color that was not here in this wall, right? So it added just, again, a little bit of contrast. So for me, this is why this image works. I cry a little bit knowing that this wall is no longer here, but I'm glad it lives on in this photograph. So please make sure that you like and subscribe, leave me some comments below, and have a great day. Be kind out there.